You by Even Keel Fish Shack.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Here we are.
That's the start you want.
Okay, there we go. Might have been a little glitchy. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
And it's a Wednesday. It's an Even Keel Wednesday.
It is.
We're here on the Lunchbox remote show from one of our favorite stops on the Lunchbox tour. And we do have this kind of monthly tour set up. What a life we've got. Even Keel Fish Shack, Lauderdale by the Sea, A1A and Commercial Boulevard. Our friends Brad and Dave. I think Brad is on the way in. He's going to concoct some special dishes for my keto diet, which you guys are so supportive of. Thank you, Defo and Lubie.
What a disaster.
You're a weirdo.
This whole phony trip of yours.
Well, you can mock me because look at this. I am definitely not abiding by the keto when it comes to my cocktail choice of the day. I got a rum.
First, a good move you've made today.
Rum punch. Rum has sugar, and the fruits in here has a little bit of watermelon and mango juice and some other elixirs in this beautiful summery cocktail. It's got some sugar. So sue me. All right. Not the most keto-friendly thing, but it wasn't the most friendly day, especially for Miami Heat fans. Lubie, how are you recovering this morning on this Wednesday?
He seems okay with it.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
They're up 3-1. The idea is going into this series, they were supposed to lose in 5 or whatever weird number people predicted. So you telling me they're up 3-1, I'd be very happy. Their play was a little lackluster. I don't like the effort that they demonstrated. And the fact that Jimmy Butler literally said our energy was a problem. How can energy be your problem? But
well, it's one of those sports cliches, Defo, right? The closeout game is always the toughest.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, let's face it. This is Loserville now. The Panthers probably go down tonight. You cursed them yesterday.
Wait, are we ready to assign the curse of Perkins yet?
I think it's the no hair with Perkins, versus hair, and then you.
I could deal with him leaving the country for his brother's wedding. That's excusable. But to take the razor blade to the growth that started it, basically he didn't intend it to be a playoff beard type of thing. But, he said he just got lazy. And 4 weeks ago, I think like around after the draft when he didn't have to do videos anymore, he stopped shaving his head. And then last night before going to the airport, he decided to shave his growth on top of his head.
Well, he was flying out of Florida. Is that a problem, or is it just flying into Florida?
Well, again, when you have the passport photo and you have to deal with customs and immigrations officials around the world, especially in this day and age of nefarious people trying to do nefarious things, he wants to look as closely
to himself,
resemble the photo in the passport.
Right.
So I understood it, but when I
what
heard
if you weighed
that,
like 400 pounds back then when you had the
thing.
passport photo?
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah, if they saw my passport
and then all of a
picture
sudden,
compared to my
you went keto for 3 years and weighed 150.
But no, I was, I got a little nervous when he said that he was going to shave the head, and I was like, okay, I don't want to start getting negative, but I did. I said this could be the beginning of a curse.
Negativity. That's what I love.
Now, I don't want to ascribe anything, overreact. One loss on one night when you're up 3-0, okay. But if the Panthers lose tonight, I think we know it is a full-fledged curse.
There's a dark side to this. There's no doubt.
And we hope he has a great time in England. He will be back next week, and hopefully he could just start letting that hair grow again. But I think once you do it one time, it's over. There's a ripple in the universe, and it just gets.
By the time he gets back, we'll be in the finals, both sports.
You think?
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah, tonight we got the Panthers with their first attempt at the sweep. The Heat whiffed last night in a big way with a performance that
one bad half.
Was,
really, it was.
Yeah, that was a really bad half.
It was one bad half. Unusual things that happened, and again, the ball didn't find the basket, and it's always good to. When
making shots is the key.
Making shots, like you say.
If the ball goes in, it's better.
Yeah. But, the weird thing is, so the ESPN analytics machine, they ran the next 3 games. They found out that the Boston Celtics chance of winning the next 3 games in a row to be the first NBA team to come back from a 0-3 deficit is actually 97%. 97 times out of 100, their simulator ran that the
Oh, look at you, Mr.
Look at
Keto.
this
the
guy.
Celtics are going to win the next 3
And
games.
look, I'm all for raw oysters, but their grilled
Wow,
oysters are amazing.
Well, this is the raw oysters.
I'm
and
aware
again,
because you're
Mayo
keto.
is trying to maintain his keto-friendly ways, and we've got a beautiful array
guy.
of raw
That looks good,
oysters
yeah.
here. You don't
I
want
like their custom-made hot sauce here.
Yes, that's really good. So if Lubie passes out the plates, I don't know how you feel about raw seafood
I'm
items.
okay. Yeah, and I'm good with
They
it.
do have a disclaimer that
Is
if
it
you
the
are
weird time of the year, though? What do you do with
If
it
you're
this
over
time
the
of the
age of
year?
71,
that if you're older, that or have a compromised immune system, that eating shellfish or raw shellfish or oysters.
well,
But this
your
is a
immune system
non-R
might
month.
be
What do you do
compromised more
with-
so than mine. I mean,
Now-
But
you're
they
sick
get
all
the
time.
oysters from up north, right? That's
yeah,
the thing.
so
is
that's the
that
thing. Okay, so some people are a little bit skittish about eating the Gulf
I'm having
oysters
one.
this time of year.
Yeah.
These are from Prince Edward Island
oh, it's
uh,
like Canada.
in Canada.
Okay,
Cold
so
water
it's cold
And
oysters.
you know who
time.
you'll find there right now?
Dougie McLean.
Doug McLean. Very
Doug
good.
McLean,
You've
a
been
son
paying
of
attention.
PEI.
Yeah.
And they have their house-made. You want a little squirt of that?
Yeah.
Go for that.
Let's do that.
Me, I'm a mignonette guy. Look at these. Look,
This could be eye
look at
drops.
this
No,
the
they're,
way
setup.
I
no,
think.
they're
got
beautiful.
The
No, they're
nice
definitely beautiful.
mignonette. A little bit
I
of
mean,
that.
it's even Keel.
Give me
little
some of that lemon
squirt.
there.
Where you want to go
Mike
for?
Mayo.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
this
got
is where you want to go for
lemon.
your seafood.
They have a proper setup when you order
The
the raw
fresh
bar
seafood's
here.
great.
This is good, man.
The
Yeah.
nice horseradish.
And we're just getting started. We haven't even said
and
hello
I'll
yet.
say cheers and do a little slurping.
Let me do this.
All
I'm
right.
missing you eating, which is my
no,
favorite
little
thing in the
form,
world.
yeah.
That is one damn good oyster right there.
All right, we got to try
And
it.
I got a little bit of the horseradish going
Yeah, it's
too.
nice though.
Oh, speaking of seafood and cleaning up some unfinished business, we saluted our contest winner for this week, Bonnie DePacio. She sends regrets she couldn't make it today, but we never went over what the winning restaurant was, and I know you were stumped a little bit last
Yeah, I
week.
didn't get it.
I'm not familiar with the place. I really, even
I
after
didn't-
knowing the name.
I don't know the name. I don't remember
Okay,
you telling me
so
the name.
it was in kind of conjunction with the Preakness Steaks in Maryland and Baltimore and crab cakes, and kind of a real Maryland style crab house that's here in South Florida was our restaurant of the week, and it's called Riggins Crab House.
Oh,
It's right
Riggins.
off of I-95, and I think it's Lantana Road in Lantana. You've never seen it going up and down the highway? It's a big
I'm
old-
sure I've seen it, but I don't remember. The only thing I remember going up there is the Don King facility in Deerfield Beach,
That's
where it
Deerfield.
says only
Yep.
in America. Yeah.
Yes, with the big flag, one of the
After
biggest
that,
flags.
I stopped paying attention. I started thinking, how is it that Florida is largely wilderness? Because once you get past that point, I mean, maybe a little north of Palm Beach, it's, you're in the jungle somewhere.
A lot of scrub brush, and
Yeah.
this time of year, usually that scrub brush is burning. There's all these remember
Burning
the brush
mosquitoes
fires?
are the size of clincher softballs. It's crazy, yeah.
Well, that's why we stay down here in civilization
Yes.
with all our friends
Here.
Definitely nicer here.
in Lauderdale by the sea. And yeah, everybody should come on out. This strip, one of my favorite strips around in South Florida now, because not only do you have the great stuff that Brad and Dave does here at Even Keel Fish Shack, right down the block, we have our friends Chris Nealon and Peggy at Aruba Beach Cafe.
Yes, sir.
One of our great sponsors. And if you want to go there for live music during the daytime, and they have the put your toes in the sand right on the
Yep,
beach. But of course, here you have food
Very
that
unique.
has that
Very unique.
a little extra spin, because Brad and Dave come from that fine dining
Mad
background.
geniuses.
But if you want, the touches of fine dining with some elements on the plate that you don't see
Or
everywhere,
you want to come in with shorts, sandals,
They
and
could
then
get
still be
away
able
with
to eat
being
like
very
you're on
basic
South
here,
Beach.
and nobody would complain.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
of the quality of food. But when they start with all this creative stuff, when Brad gets into it, and he's just talking about some little schmear he put on a plate, put like 11 special ingredients.
yeah,
into
and
it. Yeah.
only I know all the ingredients when he
Exactly.
rattles them
Like, what
off.
the
He
hell's
rattles
going
them
on?
off, and it's like you naming the horses in order they're finishing the Derby. It's like, wow, how do you have that much detail on this thing? It's
No,
incredible.
the guys, they know what they're doing here. So again, if you've never been to Even Keel Fish Shack, come on out and check out their
Great
menu.
spot. Yeah.
They have great happy hour every weeknight. I guess it's from 4 to 7. They have grilled oysters on that happy hour menu, which is
Oof.
one of my favorites. They get the nice big plump, I believe it's the Virginia oysters from St. James, Virginia, and they grill those up. And they have other things like the tuna poke and the fish dip and things like that are on the happy hour menu.
What's your go-to oyster? Like, I look at an oyster menu, I wouldn't know the difference. I mean, to me, naturally, my most familiar, and I don't eat a ton of oysters, but when I do, it's usually Louisiana and New Orleans.
Well, those are Gulf oysters.
I like those oysters a lot. But
I would stay
this
away
is
from
Prince
them
Edward
in the
Island.
warm.
I mean, what's the story? How do you differentiate?
Well, there's cold water oysters from the
Yeah.
Northeast and even the Pacific Northwest. And those are things like the Prince Edward Island. The Malpex oysters are also from Canada. Then you have things like Duxbury in Massachusetts now has these oyster beds where they produce really nice ones. And you should know from Brooklyn, Long Island Sound, the Blue Point oysters, classic.
Oh, Blue Point's like a
Blue
big deal.
Point's
Well, we were
are-
always getting those steamers, though. We used to, pick them right out of the bed and then go home. We'd have like 6 dozen steamers.
Oh, yeah, those
Yeah.
steamed.
You had to watch out for the razor blade clam, though, which was occasionally mixed into the bed. I don't know if you're familiar. Did you ever go clamming? And you must have been on Long Island. You didn't live on Long Island, though. You were always in the city.
I'm a Brooklyn boy, but I went out
Yeah.
to Jones Beach a couple of times.
It wasn't really a clammy joint, but we used to run through the muck there all the time and pick up a
Razor
zillion
clams would
Yeah.
cut you.
I literally would slit your foot right in half. It was
Hence
crazy.
the name Razor Clams.
What
Razor
the
blade
heck?
clams,
Yeah,
yeah. They
so-
were a danger.
I love raw bottoms, especially in the summertime. And nothing
Yeah, because you don't.
screams summer to me than getting a dozen oysters or a dozen. I even like the raw clams, which they have in some places around town. You get those big, nice cherry stones or the middle
Those are
stones.
good, yeah.
And you have that with a nice cold Budweiser. It's essential to get the king of beers, the American Budweiser with the clams.
You'll find
or
this
the
very
oyster.
pedestrian, but my new beer of choice, believe it or not,
I know you
Post-workout.
moved
is the Coors Light,
from-
which I don't even know if
who's
it
never
qualifies
drank beer
as a
ever.
beer. I mean,
It's
is
water.
it really a beer?
It's glorified
But that's
water.
what I'm looking for. I mean, that was the purpose of having the
I
beer.
can't believe you've slid down that evolutionary scale, going from Budweiser to Coors
He's
Light.
never been a beer drinker ever, and now he's drinking like beers that you would only drink like.
If you were a
Right out of
grandfather,
college.
or
Do I prefer the
71-year-old.
Budweiser? Probably so. Do I feel like I'm almost keto-esque by taking the Coors
Coors
Light and
Light's a little
shaving a
better
few
for you.
calories?
Shaving the
Maybe,
calories.
and
It is
it's
a little
even
better
more
for
like
you.
water than the Budweiser. Yeah.
See, so you mock me for my keto ways,
Of course,
and yet
that's
you
fine.
are following the same
I
path.
do weird things too.
Because
Yes,
he's being
I'm
consistent.
not
You're all
ashamed to
over the
admit it.
place. I don't know how to read what you're doing.
Doing
That's
weird
my problem.
things seems to be the theme week here. Lunchbox in South Florida. It's getting to be that time of year. Hey, it's a holiday weekend coming up.
I didn't even realize
we
that
are
till
going to be
yesterday.
taking Monday off next week. So I know that definitely devastates you in the audience that instead of having a barbecue,
We'll
You
have
can
stories
have the
Tuesday.
barbecue.
We'll have
Barbecue
stories
special's
from
coming up
Memorial
tomorrow,
Day.
right?
Yeah.
oh yeah. Before we get into the holiday weekend,
Oh
we've
yeah, we
got
should actually talk about
3
Memorial Day
more
tomorrow.
days of Lunchbox festivities. And again, we have tomorrow at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market in Hollywood for our monthly visit. Again, we're going to be visited by the great people from Performance Foods out of Miami, this time spotlighting their pork products, which I'm jonesing now that I'm on this keto diet. I want a good rack of ribs, dry
I
rub
love
ribs,
ribs.
slow
Wow.
smoked on the grill.
I
And I
love
have a
ribs.
feeling we're going to have some ribs tomorrow. So that
I had some
will-
decent ribs earlier this week, believe it or
Was
not.
it from Spanx the Hog?
No, I didn't go to Spanx the Hog.
He's such a piece
Yeah,
of work.
your bias towards that place is really unjustified and
It's
I think
actually
it's
almost
fine.
shameful. Yeah,
They do
I-
a good job. I'm not gonna lie.
because you had a
But
chicken
I'm not a
sandwich in there
barbecue
I gotta get back
10 years
aficionado.
ago,
Maybe
and
I
oh my
mistook it
God,
for
I don't
somewhere
even
else.
think the guy owned the place. 10
You
years
and
ago.
Ken.
Yeah.
Ken's like, oh yeah, well you like crap barbecue. I'm like, I do. I don't know what to tell you. I
Yeah.
didn't know there was different levels.
I mean, I
Freaking
don't know
barbecue.
that this was like any premium, but my man Dave B had a little thing going after the beach on Sundays. He had a big grill out there, and he used to do hot dogs and burgers, but he went upscale and now does ribs, chicken, and steaks
Ooh.
at a real bargain rate. So
Nice.
that was a good thing. And I would say I haven't had ribs in a long, long time.
A nice
There was a
rib. I
rack
love
of
a nice
ribs when I was on that Martin Sheen cruise down the Intercoastal a couple of weeks ago. We ended up at Bow Campers
Okay.
on the Intercoastal, and
Which
I
I
didn't
days are
have this.
numbered, right? That's
they had a rack of ribs there that was like the size of these two
Like a
tables
brontosaurus,
together.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they're really good, but they certainly look good.
Before
It
I-
made me think about it anyway.
before I became a food snob and critic and all
Yeah.
that stuff. I really did love the ribs at Bobby Rubino's.
I was gonna say, what about Tony Romo's,
what's
Bobby
wrong with
Rubino's,
that?
and
Yeah.
Steak
like
and
when
Nail?
I grew up,
Those
and I
kind of
grew up
ribs.
in Brooklyn. We went to a place called Beefsteak Charlie's, which had some like low grade steaks, but they were also known for their racks of ribs, along with all the beer, wine, and sangria you could drink, along with endless shrimp cocktail.
What the heck?
And I think this was back when I was like 14 years old. The drinking age was 18, and we all
So,
had fake IDs.
yeah,
so
yeah,
we
yeah.
would go in there Maybe we were 15 or 16, but we would have our fake IDs. We would just get bombed on unlimited beer, mounds of shrimp. I was practicing to be a sports
That's
writer.
amazing.
That we could see. That we could see.
I was destined to be a sports
Yeah,
writer because
yeah.
the way I would dive into those mounds
You
of
love the
shrimp,
buffet.
it was peel and eat. So you had to do a little bit of work,
That's
but
fine.
but
They just do that to hassle
I think
people.
it was $19.99 for unlimited shrimp salad bar,
An unlimited beer.
unlimited beer, wine, or sangria.
Oh my god.
And then you would get entree. And then I think the entree, I would get some ribs, and the ribs were really good. And I really have a soft spot for the Bobby Rubino's ribs. It's no more in Pompano.
Tony Roma's, same
See,
thing.
that's the
They
thing.
were
I
big.
like ribs like that, but I understand that's a molasses-based barbecue sauce, and it's probably not
And
a smoker.
No, they
So I don't know what to
them
do,
and then
like,
put them in some other spot. You know, it's like it's cheating. You
That's
know,
what I
it's-
grew up on, and that's what I like. So I admit it's like you with your Skyline chili, which I still don't understand.
It's not
We
meant
have
to
our
be
soft
understood.
spots,
It's
you
just-
know, and I get that. So
Yeah,
Best ribs I ever had were the People's Ribs, which we now know is extinct.
right.
But
Defunct.
that was with the mustard sauce.
Right, and the
but
Carolina-
we also went to Rubino's and Tony Roma's. I was hanging out with a bunch of guys that were real rib freaks and barbecue freaks, and so we frequented a lot of these places. And the People's was far and away the best, but I didn't mind the others; they were fine.
Well, the thing is, it's always best when it's no longer available. That makes it very.
But you know what? I don't know of
to a
places
thing.
that feature that type
Great
of rib.
ribs.
Well,
Anyway.
again, when you talk about a mustard-based sauce, that's a
Yeah.
South Carolina sauce, and I'm going to go
that's
into
really
the
good. Yeah.
finer points of barbecue. I spent a year in South
Jarrell,
Carolina.
isn't that like a mustard?
Jarrell, but
he's not big on that.
We're talking about Fat Boys
Yeah, Fat
Barbecue in Deerfield Beach, and also one on Cypress Creek Road. He offers different sauces, but I think he does like a dry rub, and then you put your
He
sauce
has a sauce
on.
on the side because to him,
And
the sauce
this is
is
the finer
secondary.
points of barbecue. Now that we're getting into Memorial Day
it is
weekend, I
Memorial Day.
think it's a good time to talk about it. North Carolina style, the sauce is a vinegar-based
Yeah,
sauce.
yeah,
They
it's
have
great.
that at Dixie Pig Barbecue
Yes,
right
which
here
they
on
do a great
Dixie
job.
Highway.
They do a
Trip down
great
there.
job.
then.
I buy bottles of their
do a
vinegar-based
great
North
job.
Carolina sauce. Great. Mustard-based sauce is South Carolina. I know that from my time in Sparkle City, Spartanburg,
Oh, wow.
South Carolina.
Right.
A place called the Beacon had all kinds of good barbecued and greasy items. They had a chili double cheeseburger with bacon.
Oh,
It was
jeez.
guaranteed to give you a heart attack or your money back.
Chili double
why do you need the
cheeseburger
bacon?
with bacon.
Yes.
Why throw the bacon on?
Hard to see how I turned out the way I did after spending a year at Beacon.
Oh
That's
my
a good
God.
one. man.
Chili double cheeseburger.
It was like, you know,
And
the
then
Double
varsity,
cheeseburger with
the
bacon.
varsity in Atlanta was like the minor leagues. When you graduate and you want to go in deep south and really
Oh,
do
yeah.
a
The varsity
number,
was okay. I had it.
Now
It was all
Atlanta
right.
has
Beacon.
regular,
The
what you
Beacon.
would expect barbecue, right?
Yeah.
Beacon was the summit of unhealthy artery clogging.
Okay, then what's the
cuisine.
difference between
Okay.
North Carolina, South Carolina, and Texas?
Okay, so we're talking sauces here.
Yes.
So the vinegar, mustard base. Texas, I think, has a tomato base. It's not as pronounced as the Kansas and the Kansas City style, which is a
'Cause
real
isn't
kind of
Texas more?
ketchup molasses.
Yeah, that's
type.
Kansas City.
Texas, I think, has more of a kind of subdued, and a lot of the Texas barbecue, Austin, is dry rub.
I was gonna say they're not
yeah.
big on barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Is what I think.
No, it's like Memphis. Also, the
I was gonna say
Rendezvous
Memphis
is
is like
dry
that.
rub the ribs. I'm a big proponent of dry rub because you know why? It's keto friendly. You don't have all that
so
sweet
sad.
sauce on
What the
top.
hell?
What about? You're buying barbecue sauce. You're going out. You're going to have a thing on the grill. You're going to be making some chicken, whatever, ribs, but you don't really want to spend a lot of time making your own sauce. What barbecue sauce are you grabbing off the shelf at your local
Because
Publix?
it's all of the kind I like, right? Like I don't know if you off the shelf you're getting a North Carolina or a South Carolina kind
Oh,
of.
yeah, there are a lot of
sauce.
different varieties, and
It's-
many of them are very good. I do believe that.
It's a confounding number of
Like, I love-
varieties now that you could get different
Like
styles.
Sweet Baby Ray's does a great job. I like them, but there again, I feel like the more thick, heavy, sweet.
I prefer more of a Worcestershire type of sauce, more of the
Yeah, liquidy.
umami flavor, the one that makes you pucker up a little bit, not the sweet ones.
Yeah.
And the one I like a lot it's Tom's, not Tom's Place barbecue, but I think it's just called Tom's barbecue sauce. It's
Yeah.
a local product, I think, out of Apopka, somewhere in the.
Has a picture of one guy on the
Yeah.
label.
And you
Yeah,
can
Yeah.
find it in stores.
And it looks like
you
he
can find it at
devised it.
Publix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's good stuff.
It's good stuff,
Yeah.
and it's again not sweet. It's got more of that kind of, the pucker up.
Has a little
just Worcestershire.
kick to it, also.
It
You
has
know?
a kick. I like
Sometimes,
a good
yeah.
little hot, little heat. with my barbecue sauce, with my dry rub ribs. Man, you've got me.
Are you grilling?
thinking-
I mean, are you going to do something?
Well, now that you talk about
you
it, I
invite
might
me
have to
ex over,
buy
or
some
what's
of
the deal?
those
Yeah.
pork products tomorrow at Delaware Chicken.
Isn't it time
Honestly.
you cleaned
And-
up the backyard and put that
So you guys
down?
can't see the chat, but I can. I was thinking, shoot, my grill works. I actually used it a month or so ago, and it worked really well, actually. So I was thinking barbecue, but then Tom T just said he's doing one of his freaking boils
crawfish boils. Is that
Monday from
Monday?
Anchor Away.
Oh, that's Monday.
Like, how do we not go
Grilling
there?
At Anchors Away.
It's Anchors Away.
Oh, wow.
The one in Deerfield.
Yes,
I'm there. I think Bonnie and I are going
he
to
will
come
be
out
there.
on
How do we
Monday,
not
Tom.
do that?
Tommy T is that
This is
evil
the
voice in
last-
my head that's calling my name going, you want this, you want this
I'm
now.
just telling you, I won't put names out there because
Yeah.
we like the owners, but I went to a place that is in New Orleans Southern yesterday, and it left me wanting Tom T.
You were
So
kvetching a lot.
the fact that Monday he's going to be up our way, I think I might have to
That
make
may
a
be the
move
move.
to Tom T.
Stop
Anchors
in
Away.
there. Pick
I'm
up a bunch of
jonesing. It's
stuff.
actually going to be his last crawfish boil this season because everybody knows that crawfish season runs basically from January, and then sometimes it goes all the way to July 4th. Sometimes the supply runs out
Yeah.
by Memorial Day.
Okay.
He's saying this is his last crawfish boil of the season, and that's reason enough to celebrate and make a special trip up on the holiday now that we're not going to have a show. And we're going to go up
Oh,
there.
wow.
Look at this.
I'm going to go up there
Sayonara,
and
Mayo.
get some.
Now we're set. Now we're set.
is
I actually didn't really
when
even want
people
it.
go
Just
on the
wanted to
You
Let's
be a
keep
jerk
on
to
that
Mayo.
keto diet there, kid.
I just wanted to be a jerk to Mayo.
That's great. I love the way you guys
Nice.
troll
Look at that,
me.
man.
And it's
Unbelievable.
my
So,
favorite.
thank
It's
you,
not like
sir.
cod or something. They use actual like
They
mahi.
use local sourced mahi.
Yeah.
They do a beautiful beer batter using Red Stripe, Yaman, Hooray beer. And the smell of it out of
I
the
think we've
fresh
just
out of the
sold
fire,
another.
I think you need to look at
it
these
is
this.
lovely
wafting
people
my way.
just walked in.
You guys are
and they're like
complete.
staring at.
Can I say this? Complete
Jerk
pricks for
offs.
ordering this because
Look at
You're
how
not gonna
beautiful
not
that
be
is.
able to
most
hide it.
decidedly not
Like,
keto friendly.
he's
We
like,
have
I have
people
to
taking
take a picture of
pictures
it.
of.
It's not like it's a
Chip. Look at
skimpy,
these
skimpy order either.
No,
I mean,
and
look
they
at
have
that
the
thing.
beautiful fresh cut French fries. They get the house-made tartar sauce. They don't have any of that Ken's sauce in the
No,
plastic container here. This is house-made tartar along with some coleslaw, French fries. I am resisting everything in my power.
Absolutely beautiful.
Go ahead and
yeah,
dig in,
yeah.
guys. Go ahead. Don't
Oh,
let
yeah,
me stop
I'm
you.
grabbing a piece
I'll have
here.
my last little so satisfying oyster.
This one looks good.
And we're here, Even Keel Fish Shack. This would be a perfect place to come out and celebrate the long holiday
Oh, and they do
weekend.
the fresh cut fries too.
They do.
Just for fun.
And
They
look
do
at
weekend brunch here.
giant pieces of mahi perfectly done up. Unbelievable.
I just
That's
like
good.
that. Even a standard look, and we were talking
Brininess.
about Bonefish Max, and they do a really nice job with fish and chips. And it's a standard dish, and it's fine. I like that they then take
Go
it to
ahead,
another
dig in.
level
I'm sure it's not too hot, fresh
And
out
then
of the
they take
fryer.
it to another
I would
level.
hate for you to burn your mouth.
and do
or
it with
anything.
dolphin or mahi and
Mahi,
then fresh cut fries,
local
which I love.
mahi, locally caught mahi. They do a terrific job here.
You know what's great too? We don't have to worry about Mayo reaching
Mayo's
over us
not
and
gonna
no,
mess
there will
it
be
up.
climbing the whole thing.
That's
There'll
my
be
favorite
no Mayo
part.
desecration of any dishes that you enjoy your highly carb,
Look at this.
highly
God, look at that. Look how
battered
flaky the fish is. Like Mayo
potatoes
likes to talk about.
Yeah,
and French fries. Can I get the instant review? That wait.
See, you're one of those guys
I
too.
did
That,
ketchup.
you know,
Yeah, I did
Food
ketchup.
crime in progress.
was that ketchup? I don't
He
even know.
just dipped
Ketchup.
ketchup.
I thought it was. I
He
thought it was
put-
cocktail
he
sauce.
put the. Oh,
Ketchup.
maybe it is. All right. I think it's ketchup.
No,
but
it's
you
ketchup.
tell me.
It's ketchup.
Uh-oh.
I like it
And
with
I bet it's
ketchup.
very. Look at that. That looks like a piece of chicken breast. It is
Yes,
so
it's like
big
a nice
and
piece.
and hearty. And I might have to peel away the beautiful batter and just
You
have
should
some
try
of that
it.
fish.
It's amazing.
You know what? You could probably handle a
the
little.
white
It's
mite
very
fish.
light.
Uh,
It's
this
a lot
one, the
heavier
big
than
I'm going to
it is.
get in there in a minute, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to maintain control for the sake of the dignity of the
Oh,
program.
okay. Dignity.
Um,
Yeah, you're Mr. Dignity.
No, and you brought up a point. Look, I can't wait. I do want to get out to Tom T's at Anchors Away Dive Bar this Monday. He's going to have a full array of other menu items besides the crawfish, but last crawfish of the year. He is going to be switching, he says, to like doing crab
Where is he getting
boils
those
and
crawfish
shrimp.
from?
Louisiana.
Jurassic Park.
No, he gets
Those are
These are
giant.
really big.
the
Yeah.
Brontosaurus. These crawfish that look as big as the lobsters that they're
Yeah.
serving for the Twin Lobster
Yeah.
special at Tropical Acres. But what was I going to say? So you went to a place last night, and it gets back to my point of don't go to a restaurant in the first few weeks because they're still tinkering with
Okay,
things.
well, let me ask you.
Although it sounded like you said, it is what it is, and the menu is
And I'm
developed.
not trying to slam anyone because I
Oh,
was big
you
fans
place, yeah.
of these people, right? And I was really excited for this. You're a big proponent of when something is new. First of all, someone has to eat there, though, so I don't understand how you do that. But You yourself, with your refined palate, want to give them a chance to get things in order. Okay,
Right.
so I get that with service, with
Tweak the menu, or they could.
okay. Now
yeah.
that's my thing. More time, will that make the food better? Like the way they're preparing the food, how they're doing the food, because that was my issue with this restaurant.
Sometimes they might completely junk menu items if they're
Okay.
not working.
Somebody has to go there in the
or-
beginning, though. Otherwise, they couldn't.
Well,
you know.
if nobody went at the
How do
beginning, there would be no restaurant by the time I got there.
That's my
I
thing.
So
believe
I
a
salute
restaurant
the
should be
people
on
who are
their
the
game,
guinea
though, when
pigs.
they open.
Look
I
at
believe
that.
it.
Look at that. Oh my God,
No,
that batter
this fish
is
is
so
so,
good.
No, it's
so
amazing.
tender that it might be the best piece of fish I've ever had in lifetime.
Yeah, these guys do a
They
great
congratulations
do
to
such a
Dave.
great job.
When
And
people ask on Let's Eat South Florida, where do I go for the best? I hate
That
the
is a
best
huge
fish and
differential
chips.
in
Yes,
quality,
yes,
though, in this
but-
kind of dish.
High quality, top of the line fish and chips. I always say even keel fish shack.
When the portion's ridiculous.
And yeah, you could feed an army. I mean, there's no way I could, even at my 5 meals a day height, I couldn't finish that whole
Look,
portion.
Perkins is in
Wow.
London. He won't touch this.
I'm gonna be like this.
Yeah, in terms of taste, flavor, overall presentation, unbelievable.
Oh no! And
Lot
if
of
you
fish and chips.
if you want, you could get the salt, the malt vinegar to pour on your
Yeah,
fish
I
and
was
See,
gonna
chips
now
say,
that's what I like.
to make
yeah,
it
yeah.
I didn't
real
think about
British
that.
style.
That's
Oh,
what I
we
needed,
could, we could summon
Okay,
the
so what would
troops,
you do with a restaurant that's trying something and the vibe's great? The service was spectacular. Like
Right.
I didn't talk about that. The service was really good. I ordered a drink because they had some fancy cocktails and it had a kick, and that was weirding me out. So I asked if I could change it out. They had no problem. They changed it out for me. They were tremendous, but the food, it didn't feel New Orleans-y or Southern-y. Now I get
Okay.
it. They're going for a different level of food. So what do you do as the critic and friendly with ownership of a certain place? How do you treat that? What do you do with that?
No, I would give some notes and feedback to him and say, what's the thinking on this dish? How come the flavor profile didn't seem traditional to me? Or, and sometimes the explanation will be, well, we're trying to give a little different spin on it because people can get the traditional straight up preparation at 5 other places. So we want to do something a little different. And then you understand that. You either say, okay, I accept that and I like it. Or you say, no, it doesn't work. And, if I was still writing for the paper, I would then say, I'd give my opinion and say, that's my take on it. But I think it's still too soon because in the case of this particular restaurant,
Yeah, they just opened like 2 weeks.
it's 2 weeks old. It's basically 2 weeks old. So too soon. And
I don't know. You know what? It's interesting because there's so many restaurants, Michael, that it's hard to give a place a second chance.
That's my problem.
And that's why I feel like, and I've always felt this way in restaurants I've worked in. I've worked in several restaurants that were just opening up and hadn't opened yet, and we're doing the training. And you need to be ready to go on opening day, because you may not get these people back, and then the word gets out from the original customers. Oh, well, I know that, and you're doomed because you can go 100 other places on this street.
Yep.
If
down
Brad
here.
and Dave aren't doing their job here, which you have to try that because I think it's the best piece of mahi
I'm going to get there,
Period.
Defo. I'm getting there.
that I've consumed.
I'm showing
Scrape
restraint.
some
I
of this
don't
stuff
want-
off. While you're showing restraint,
So-
it's going to disappear, though.
To your point,
No, I'm doing this for
number
him.
one. Hence, this is why I don't go into a restaurant for the first 6 weeks, because if I do want to form a judgment that's a little bit more reasoned, I will wait. Now, for people who can't wait to check out the shiny new object and go in there in the
You need
first
to
week
have
and
what-
don't have the best experience and say, I'm never going back there based
But
on
that's
that
not
one
fair either.
experience.
That's not fair either.
You know what? Fine. You could be like that. Yeah, they are charging full freight, and you could judge them on the full scale and not on on any kind of bell curve. But in the end, you're doing a disservice to yourself and the restaurant. And but you're right. You don't have to go back. You can just say one and done. But then the restaurant will probably be gone. And
yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't go back because you're not wrong. I've done that where I've gone to places early and then gone back later and they had fixed some things. So that's cool. I'm just curious because
wow, that's good.
no, it's
That
really
is
good. The
so
fish,
good, it's
just
not
the
funny.
fish
We
itself.
need the
Like you don't
malt
need.
vinegar, though. I think that's what really makes
I don't
it.
know.
Well, we're gonna have
Give
to
the
wait
malt
till
vinegar.
the break to get the malt vinegar. I'm going in for the.
He's gonna bring it over now. The
the
fish,
house
but that's the
tartar
thing. It's
sauce?
not, and the breading's great. Like I love that beer batter breading, but you don't really need it. The
It
fish
looks like it's
itself,
going to be very heavy, but it's
It
not.
fell right
not.
off.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
which,
got nothing
which is
but
great. Then you get your fish.
fresh,
I'm gonna
moist,
eat- I'm
juicy
gonna eat
mahi in the middle
This,
here.
this Brad is a culinary genius here. He really is.
No, these guys are
I love this
talented.
guy.
You know that.
When he
I
comes
just like
on the
that he
show
takes-
and he starts talking about this stuff, I'm like,
But
wow, that's the
you
way
can
to do
come
it.
out this weekend. Would be a great place.
Yep.
Great time to explore. Like,
And the weather's great right now.
have
too.
yourself a beach day. Come to Lauderdale by the sea. You hit even keel for a lunch, then have late cocktails and some music at Aruba Beach Cafe. Stop into Taco Craft, have a little taco there. Go into our friends over at the Billy Jack Shack, and they have all kinds of good stuff. I mean, this little pocket of restaurants.
There's a lot of stuff here.
A lot of good stuff. I haven't even gone into the Boston beef place there that's across the street. That apparently is a cousin,
is killing it across
cousin
the street.
of Joey Esposito's, and
Vinny's very popular.
yeah. So
A couple of Italian joints.
I
down the
love
block.
coming to places there. They have all kinds of pockets of good restaurants, and you can check it out, explore. Do like me. You just have 5 meals in a row, one after
A lot
another.
of variety of atmospheres too, because that Mickey's downtown is doing well. I think completely different vibe. I don't know what the food is like. It seems like people really enjoy it. They got the dueling piano
The
concept
dueling
working there.
pianos. I know
But,
you're a big fan of the dueling pianos.
I might be. I mean, I like somebody playing live music when I'm in a place. I don't mind that at all. But yeah, it didn't seem like my type of scene there. Like seems like what they're trying to do, the old speakeasy type of thing.
Yeah,
I'm
that's all right.
not sure.
That's all right.
But I mean, it's very popular. You see them overflowing, and then the little Italian restaurant by the BurgerFi does real well, La Capriciosa.
Yep, that place I've heard nothing but good things, and I still haven't made it in there because they're also known for these little Neapolitan-style pizzas, the hand-pulled, little thin and soggy pizzas.
Yeah, very good food.
Good stuff. Okay.
Yeah. I also was, I've seen this thread a few times on Let's Eat South Florida, speaking of Italian, and it seems like the Cafe Vico,
Some of that.
or
on that.
Vico,
Yes,
came
nice.
up big in the best lasagna in town category.
Lasagna is an interesting
Best
thing.
lasagna.
Yeah.
Are you in agreement on that?
I
No,
don't-
because Runway does the lasagna. That's got to be pretty good. I mean,
Runway's lasagna
Yeah.
is excellent. Cafe Vico's lasagna is excellent. I have a lasagna near me at my little local, the Concadoro, which used to be in Hollywood.
always very popular. Yeah.
On Young Circle, but now they've relocated after he sold the building, and he's in this little strip mall, Publix shopping center on Dania Beach Boulevard, right across from the casino in Dania. And they do a lasagna there that's terrific. And you know the sign of a good lasagna when it gets delivered to the table, not on the plate. It has to be in that tin that they bake it in the oven, and they pull it right out of the oven in that the metal tin baking pan.
But they give it to you in that?
And they bring it on another plate. They pull that tin out of the oven, so it's all bubbled over,
the cheese,
the crunchy cheese over the edges, and they put that on a plate, which then they deliver to your table. So you're scooping it out of that tin. That to me is
no wonder chicks dig you. It's great, man. Yeah. I mean,
It's an
the
essential-
attention to detail,
very
yeah.
specific.
as Dickstein might shout out, it's an essential component of the dish to serve it in that metal tin. And speaking of Dickstein, he's gone to the West Coast, California, for some fancy schmancy wedding. You know, the reason he was like in a state yesterday in our meeting, his life is like
And it feels like with Larry David.
living, breathing Larry David episode where he had this. It's a black tie wedding affair that he has this tuxedo. I think he had it in his closet, and he was getting it dry cleaned for the wedding. And instead of going to pick it up from the dry cleaners himself, because his life is so hectic and he's such a Dickstein,
Right.
he apparently sent an Uber to go pick it up and deliver it to him.
Wow.
And somewhere between him calling the Uber and them actually delivering it to him, the tuxedo jacket got lost, or the whole tuxedo got lost. And he was in a frantic state because he was flying out early this morning to go to this affair this weekend.
With no tuxedo?
Thing. And I don't know if he was going to, if he got the tuxedo, if he was able to.
Where's he going in California?
I don't know, somewhere in Montebello or
On the spot tuxedo rental right there in town.
yeah, you always hope
California,
for a
probably,
men's warehouse somewhere near you where you could always go in and get your
I guess I'm in that
tuxedo.
day.
But
I have one I could send out to him if he wants to pay a little bit of a price.
I don't think it's going to fit him.
Dickstein.
Dickstein
He
is
might
a
make it in there.
little bit on the husky side like me, but
All right, this is with the malt
he's
vinegar.
not doing keto. You know what he's doing?
What is he doing?
Cheetos.
No, injectables of these, the new, what's the diet craze medicine? The one that's for,
no, Ozempic.
yeah, Ozempic. Yeah, he's
Oh,
gone
no.
on the
That's
Ozempic.
resorting to absolute body
Surely talking about
terrorism
something like that.
at
I'm like,
point,
what
yeah.
are you doing?
Well,
I'm like,
he is, I guess, borderline diabetic, type 2 diabetic. So that is what it's used for. But I don't know. He's been singing the praises of the Ozempic, saying it's just the weight's falling off him. But I don't know. I prefer to
You
do
don't
it
want to go on a
the
cancer
natural
diet.
way,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
eating
exactly,
meats and
yeah,
cheese.
I
You do what
still
you're
love
doing.
that.
I
That's
have more
amazing.
respect for that.
I still love
than
that. I still love the thing that
chocolate
you're
and
doing.
pills.
Hey, speaking about
All right.
eating eating meats and all kinds of good stuff. Tomorrow, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. We're going to be out there with our friends. Gene is going to be taking care of us along with Carlos from.
And Jose's on his vacation, right?
Jose is in Europe right now.
He's doing my dream vacation.
I think he's in Italy, right? And
well, he's doing Italy the way I think getting a car and like driving Italy,
through.
which is what Shirley and I want to do.
Wow,
that was the gambling gourmet way too during my honeymoon.
That's what we want to do.
And very memorable.
How'd that work out?
The honeymoon was good.
The honeymoon was fantastic.
Oh, good.
The rest of the
marriage, you look, you got a beautiful child, your friend.
You know my theory.
Not so
Everything
good.
changes after she says
We
I
still
do.
talk to each other.
Yeah.
So we'll miss Jose tomorrow, but we will still have a great time tomorrow at Delaware
And we
Chicken
love
Farm.
again. Delaware
Seafood
is the
Market.
place to go now if you're going to be doing any kind of grilling or cooking over the
It is
long
Memorial
holiday
Day.
weekend. 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, right across from the old Seminole Classic Casino. There's a big chicken on the roof of Delaware. You can't miss it.
It's hard to miss him.
Plenty of parking. They have curbside if you want to order in advance and have them drop it right in your car window. But you don't want to miss out on going inside the shop, the store itself. Everything, the display cases are beautiful. All the seafood, the fresh fish aligned just perfectly.
Yep.
They've got the Key West pink shrimp, again, clams and oysters and the crabs and things from up and down the coast.
And I almost dare you to go there, get your meat, and not get some roasted chicken. Like,
Yeah, the
once you
roasted
see that
chicken,
and smell it, it's hard to pass up.
steaks, chops, the pork, of course, the poultry, which is what they're known for, the chicken, duck, lamb, and that grab and go case where you can get great stuff.
Dips. Oof.
They have prepared soups.
Maybe get some dips tomorrow.
They have the dips, the great fish dip and the salmon dip. We're going to be out there. We love going out there tomorrow. Come join us. And if you can't make it while we're doing the show tomorrow, at least get out there at some point over the weekend. Great stuff for the holidays or any day. That's Delaware Chicken and Seafood. Doug Carter and crew, they take great care of you. And they've had, longtime customers. They've been doing it forever. They know what they're doing. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Think about this. You're having, say, 15, 20 people over the house. You're going to be grilling chicken. You're going to be grilling ribs. You're going to be grilling burgers and whatever else, sausage. Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, you're going to save you a ton of money.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're going to get better quality right away. The
Yep.
people are going to love you that much more. And you're going to just
forgot-
get everything you need
It's
all in one
easy,
spot.
exactly. One
I forgot to
stop shop.
mention, go onto their website, DelawareChicken.com, and they
Probably have
usually
deals and
have
stuff,
these
too.
holiday pack specials
Wow.
where they'll have some burgers and sausage and chicken and maybe some shrimp, and you get that all for one low combined price. And they put these packages together for $4, for $6. Go online, DelawareChicken.com. It's going to be easy peasy for your holiday entertainment.
All right, tell them the Lunchbox sent you, as Mayo likes to say.
Yes.
And more from Even Keel Fish Shack. Absolutely delicious. Divine. that fish and chips. Even you had to concede that it was
Well,
worth.
I had the interior,
Yeah.
keto friendly, and
But you
Wow.
did good.
I mean,
I'm
what a
proud of you.
piece of fish
You
that
couldn't
was.
pass
Awesome.
it up, though.
That is great. All right, back with more in a moment here from Even Keel.
Beach Cafe. It's a South Florida landmark, and it's one happy restaurant right on the water. Tables literally on the beach. A place where you could dip your toes in the sand, kick back, relax with island vibes, tropical drinks, and live music daily. You know it. It's at One Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. And of course, it has Chef Chris Nealon and his famed Caribbean Floridian cuisine with a huge menu with something for everyone. Seafood, raw bar, conch fritters, burgers, sandwiches, salads, daily specials, and of course, that famous Bimini bread. They've got a great staff that'll take great care of you. There's something to celebrate every day, open 7 days until late, parking available on site, happy hour weekdays 4 to 7 p.m. Go check out more at ArubaBeachCafe.com. Better yet, go in there yourself at Aruba Beach Cafe. Good food, drinks, friends, and laughter are always the catch of the day. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Back on the Lunchbox, it's a glorious day in South Florida, and we're on the road at Even Keel Fish Shack in Lauderdale by the Seas, right on the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard. And you know what? It's a little bit strange. We haven't had the obligatory siren ambulance racing past at some point during the show.
Nobody getting taken off the track.
I just mushed us.
Exactly.
How did you do with parking today? Did you get it in between the lines?
Yeah, no, I'll never make that mistake again. I mean, that was.
Want to remind our audience?
It wasn't even the $35 or whatever. It was just the whole principle of it.
They are sticklers.
Yeah.
They are the parking Nazis here in Lauderdale by the Sea. If your tire hits the line
Feature Mrs. Mayo.
Well, no, there is some
that's an age difference, boy. That's
scenery out here.
That's
close
below
to
the
the
Mendoza
beach.
line.
It's great.
Mrs. Mayo sighting.
So we're here, Even Keel Fish Shack, and now I got all discombobulated. Thank you, Defo.
That was pretty significant. There.
So what I wanted to say is everybody should come on out here.
Yes,
I mean, isn't this glorious? This is our time of the year. The people who live here year round.
Yeah, everybody cleared out.
The snowbirds are gone. It's actually possible to get up and down Commercial Boulevard within, from 95, without all these big backups. And I got here in like less than 10 minutes.
You were here before both of us.
And it was just wonderful driving around. And you look out and you see the glorious Atlantic Ocean.
Yep.
You get the beautiful balmy breezes. I love this time of year. I love from Memorial Day to even 4th of July. Yes, it's getting a little bit warmer, but it's pleasant. A lot of times you get that nighttime, the breezes still feel a little bit. My rhapsodizing for
Nature Boy Mike Mayo
Visit
here,
Law folks, and we do love our Nikki Mohan and the Visit Lauderdale crowd. And, all right, I want to bring up something that's on the Let's Eat group. It made me crack up.
Okay.
A guy named Anthony G posted this couple of hours ago. He said, I'm heading to New York City. Anyone know where I could get some good South Florida style pizza?
Authentic South Florida pizza, yeah.
Authentic.
Honestly.
Real South Florida style
I wonder if you can, right? I mean, you're stuck. It's like being in Rome, right? All the restaurants are essentially the same,
And
even
then
though they're great.
You got these wise guys chiming in: Domino's, Papa John's, 7-Eleven. That's not fair. There's some
We have
really
good pizza here. I never understood that
Yeah.
thing. I went to New York.
Plenty of good pizza.
Look, I guess Brooklyn, if you go to specifically Brooklyn, there may be a little, but in Manhattan, it's the same thing
Let
we're
me tell
getting
you.
here.
There's a
And
lot
maybe
of
your taste in pizza needs to evolve towards what it is down here. I mean, your standard pizza from 50 years ago. I mean, what's wrong with going to the pizza spot? That vegetable pizza was still good in my fridge a week later.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
amazing.
every pizza has a label and an origin story. I mean, Pizza Spot is based on
New
the New
Haven.
Haven, Connecticut style. A pizza, thinner dough, a little bit crunchier, well done, charred. You have the Neapolitan style that you can find at Louis Bossi's that we've had. That's really good. A little bit soggier in the middle where you could eat it with a fork and knife. But then you've got your slice joints. And okay, they call themselves New York style slice joints, but a place, Fort Lauderdale on Davie Boulevard, called Pete's a Place, because the guy who founded it was named Pete, so he called it Pete's a Place. But his son Jack runs it now. It's a little shack, and they do this 2 slice and soda special. The slices are great. I mean,
And you know what? You can go to places and get lousy pizza in New York.
In New
Exactly.
York, I was going to say, I was in New York. and
Not
they
every
had
place
pizza.
is brilliant.
there is plenty of mediocre
Yeah.
pizza in Midtown Manhattan and around all those Grand Central Station and Penn Station. I mean,
Pizza's
they're
in.
not run by Italians anymore. They're run by all kinds of immigrants from Albania and other
Yep.
parts of Eastern Europe. And, all they're doing is open up cans of, tomato paste.
Yep.
And it's nothing that special. It's the same ingredients that you're getting here. And people talk about the water and the dough and this and that. I mean, come on.
Plenty of good pizza.
The one thing I'll say, and it is tooting our own horn, I guess, but like until recently, I will say the bagels there for some reason, there is a different. I did feel until we went
Texture.
to Grandpa's. But the size, the bagels were
Right.
like impressive
Because those are hand rolled. You got
Yeah.
when you cut it by hand, the dough. When you work in the dough and then you cut it off and you slice off these chunks of dough and then roll it by hand rapidly and have a full trays of them.
Yeah.
They do that at Grandpa's.
Not,
They are
they're not
classic
all the
old
same. They all
school.
look different. They all are not exactly like cookie cutter.
Right.
Like
They're puffy, and because they're wrapped and rolled by hand, they have that non-uniformity that is a hallmark of the real authentic Brooklyn, New York bagel shop, which is where the guys from Grandpa's are from. I mean, Mark Freed, my buddy, he grew up, cut his teeth baking bagels at Bell Bagel on Flatlands Avenue in Canarsie, where me and my dad would go. He might have served me
Maybe
a
some
bagel or
bagels,
baked my bagel when I was 6 years old. So
Yeah.
small
Baked on the
world.
premises makes a big difference. Whenever you're considering a bagel, for sure. Plenty of good bagels down here too. But I would agree with Lubie. Maybe the bagel is a little different here. The pizza's a little different, but not every place you go in New York, you buy a slice for $6, and it's not always great.
I've had
It's
some
like
bad
I say,
pizzas in New York.
anywhere you go in the world, you can find good stuff and you can
Yeah.
find mediocre stuff. It's just a matter of you talk to the locals, you get a little bit of the local knowledge going, and you can find whatever food that you're interested in. It's usually better to focus on the food that is a specialty of wherever you're traveling to.
Or be open-minded. Like if you're going to have Italian in the middle of Greece,
Right.
understand they may do a good job.
Well, there's a
But
lot of
it's Greece.
Italians that move to Athens that open up Italian restaurants, just like they do when they move to Florida.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can find anything anywhere. Keep an open mind. And, but if you kind of come to South Florida, I say seafood and local seafood.
Oh, yeah,
And
here.
that's why you come to places,
Now you come here.
Like this.
even
I mean,
Keel,
yeah.
and you get the fish and chips isn't made with some frozen haddock from, parts unknown.
Some carp the guy picked out of a lake on Long Island. Yeah.
No, this is, right off the boat, mahi fresh. And you can taste the difference. I
No,
mean, I
it's-
defy
That
anybody
was
to
fantastic.
have
yeah.
that piece
Well,
of
Defo was cutting
crunchy
it.
fish.
Like when you get a fish and chip, normally it's like one piece and it's fine. Defo was cutting it, and I'm like, when you were referencing the fish you had at the Fish Shack, which does a great job, and you were talking about the flakiness, I never understood what you were saying until I watched Defo cut it, and
Yeah,
the fish
it
actually
flakes
flaked.
apart.
I was like, wow.
Comes
Because
right
it's
off,
not overcooked and
Yeah.
it's fresh. I mean, when it's frozen, sometimes it comes out like
Black.
even when you cook it,
Yep.
it's like cutting a piece of chicken where it's
Yes.
just like one big thing. But when it's fresh fish, it flakes off. And man, It just makes my nipples hard when I talk about food that's really good and fresh like this.
Since you've been dating,
It's
I'm in touch with myself
It's
again.
awoken something with
it's
you.
good.
I'm feeling again.
Ah.
I have feelings.
I'm feeling again.
Meanwhile, the bad news is I did during the break eat a French fry, and I just gained 4 pounds.
It's
So
one
that's,
French fry. You
one
can't
French
do
fry.
that.
That phase is over.
That's the problem with the
As soon as
keto.
you snap out of this funk that you're in,
It's
There's
we'll
gotta-
be able to get back to business here on the show, which is great.
what are the people saying? I can't even read the chat line today. Are they really up in arms that we're not talking about sports today? That
No,
we're talking
no
about
one's upset
food?
about that.
And we didn't dwell on the Heat game tonight. The Panthers can wrap things up against the Carolina Hurricanes. We both were wrong yesterday in our
Who's to say?
enthusiasm and
Yeah.
optimism. Defo,
That
what
was
do you
looking
think
good
tonight?
for a long time. I
they
mean,
were
it's the
leading at
third
half.
quarter, and then I saw the Heat morph back in. It was like the pumpkin came, off the Cinderella slipper because
Yep.
they reverted back to all of the bad habits they had in some
Enough of
disgusting
the
losses.
past, the future.
They
Tonight,
No, but
what
that's
happens
what-
tonight?
Tonight with
tonight.
the Panthers, look, toss-up, I would be inclined to believe that Carolina's had such poor luck in the series that
Well,
maybe
they've been
they
close.
steal one and keep
Think
it
they're
going.
going to get a bounce tonight? Something
They've
to
been
break?
close.
They've,
and,
I mean, they've been right there in
I
every
know.
game. Yeah.
You say that they've hit a lot of posts and crossbars, and they have. But the thing is, you got to give Bobrovsky credit for even that because he's deflected some of those
Yes,
pucks
he
Oh,
is.
yeah,
that,
No, he's been great.
that they have hit the crossbar after he's deflected it away from the center of
That's
the
true.
net.
Not only is he the hottest goalie left in the playoffs, because you saw the Stars now pull their goalie last night,
that was rough.
and now they're debating who'd play another fourth game, which could be their final game. I guess, Las Vegas is holding up well. The Carolina goalies have been good, but Bobrovsky, he's been a magician. I mean, he really has. So
Look, when a goalie is playing like that, standing on his head, you just marvel at it.
you
get
would
out
have
of
to
the
favor
way.
them to win the cup. You really
But
would.
you know what?
Yeah,
the,
right now.
the crazy thing is now, even I'm seeing the puck better when I'm watching the game
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's so focused.
Yep.
I'm focusing on where the puck is going and is it going to get through him. So Bobrovsky has even elevated
You're watching.
my play, my viewership because I
You
can
don't need the
actually
glowing puck.
I can see the puck now when I'm
Yeah.
watching the game. That's how good he is. So
Let's hope they close it out. That would be nice. I mean,
yes, because we
Stanley
don't
Cup
need
down here would be fantastic. Maybe Brad can talk one of the players into coming out here to even keel. We can all drink a rum punch out of the
Yeah, maybe
Stanley
we
Cup.
get the Stanley Cup one day and
Yeah.
just
The
drain one of
traditions
those.
associated with it are very unique to sport. So, and also, kind of thing that really endears you to the game and the players.
Just drain
So I'd
the
love to see
frozen
it, yeah.
drink machine, put it right into
Right
the
in the
cup,
thing,
and then
yeah.
pass it around
That's
the
it.
bar here.
Rum
I
runners coming
I
out of there.
see that in
Be
our
beautiful.
future.
Yeah.
I also see in my future another keto-friendly meal at Tropical Acres Steakhouse
Oh,
because
beautiful, man.
if you want to go keto,
Is Jack as annoyed with you as everybody else?
I haven't seen him yet,
All
so
right.
I haven't gauged his opinion. I'm sure he's going to be fully supportive.
Yeah, 'cause it
Steak,
doesn't hurt
steak is
him.
keto friendly.
You
Is
just eat
steak
more
on the
steak.
menu?
Yes,
Steak is
100%.
keto friendly. Okay,
Steak
it's
is
very
friendly.
simple.
Yeah.
Anything that's meat, protein, cheese, fat,
Okay.
seafood, lean meat, keto friendly.
You can have
Anything
carbs.
that's
All right. So you're okay.
Potato,
pasta,
rice, pasta.
dough, breading, any of
Potatoes.
this potato, French fries, not keto friendly.
Plenty of choices then at Tropical Acres.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what I am now hankering for.
What about the
because-
cream spinach? Is that
cream spinach? Totally keto friendly.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Keto friendly.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going for. The Twin
First
Lobster
time, yeah.
special is back. I'm going to dive into a couple of Twin Lobsters
In a couple
with
weeks when you
cream
get out there.
spinach and the house salad
Yep.
with that creamy garlic
Can I
house
have your baked
dressing.
potato, or are you
I was
gonna?
going to say we may
Yeah.
have to make
I'm having the
have a
cream
meeting.
spinach. If you want to order your own baked
The
potato,
lobster goes with a baked potato with butter on
no,
it.
it goes
Yeah,
with
yeah.
cream spinach
Cream
and
spinach
a
is
house
nice.
salad with the creamy garlic sauce. Keto friendly all the way. And again, even if you're not being keto friendly, they do have one of the
covered.
world's great baked potatoes there at Tropical Acres. It's at 2500 Griffin Road. They're going to be open on Friday and Saturday. For the holiday weekend, you know what? Go to tropicalacres.com to get their schedule. I have a feeling, I know they're closed on Sunday. They might be closed on Memorial Day Monday. Not sure, and I will clarify that
What about
tomorrow.
the butcher shop? Now,
Butcher
that's a
shop
good
will be
spot,
open
yeah.
Friday, Saturday, so you can pick up some of those good, nice filet mignons.
Wow.
Beautiful center cut.
Yeah.
Goes right on the grill.
You want to impress your guests.
grill them up for 4 minutes each side. You get a beautiful.
Imagine a
rare
guy at your barbecue
steak.
says, "I haven't had a steak this good since I was at Tropical Acres a few years ago."
And
And you're like, "Yeah, well, I made this on my own," as if you didn't get it there.
no. And they again, it's open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. They have the half price happy hour in the bar, 4:30 to 6:30. Half price wine every Monday and Tuesday, along with the loyalty reward card of get your buy 12 entrees, get the 13th one on the house. We love Tropical Acres and the Studiali family. Exuding class.
Yes.
The Studialis.
Always great.
Go in there and tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, coming back to wrap up this Even Keel Fish Shack edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox here at Lauderdale by the Sea, commercial and A1A, great spot. We've seen no less than 3 future Mrs. Mayos walk by, and we're having a great meal, and we'll be back with more in a moment.
Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, Even Keel Fish Shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and daily fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have daily happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
Oh, we're back here on the Lunchbox, and speaking of unfinished business, the mystery continues. I still don't know who sent me these zinc, cold, and flu tablets that showed up at my doorstep via Amazon delivery on
seem
Sunday.
better, though. Yeah.
Yeah, you seem way better.
But it's so bizarre because I checked all of my credit cards and looking at the bills of did anything incur a charge of these Sambuco elderberry tablets, and there is no charge on any of my credit cards. So I didn't do it in some sort of sleepwalking stupor on a Saturday night. And nobody I know in my orbit, was it you, Defo? I'm going to have to put the...
No, I wouldn't be that considerate.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were sick. So
No, and I don't think you know my address.
Nor would I send you something that I had to pay for. So
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not Defo. Lubie, was it you?
No, definitely not.
Not Lubie. Everybody else I've quizzed in
Plus,
my
I
orbit.
wouldn't know how to order anything.
I wouldn't
online.
know how to
Yeah,
send it
I
to
would
you.
have no idea.
I
I started with Val,
I don't know your
and
address.
she was like, I don't know your address. That would be creepy.
Yes.
And maybe it was one of your other girlfriends. And
Yeah.
I said, I have
don't
no
have
other
any, yeah,
girlfriends.
I would think the ex-wife.
I
would be
tried the
number one.
daughter and ex-wife. Nope, wasn't them. This is really weird. If anybody in the viewing audience if it was you, now's the time you
I don't
can
know your
stand up.
address, though. Why
No,
would they know
I mean,
your address?
as my brother said, I am a public
He's
person.
a public figure.
There are ways to find people's addresses these days, but
And these
It's
groupies
just-
keep finding your house.
but again, there was no return address, and it didn't have the Ted Kaczynski scrawled note. It just was the
There's no-
box of these pills, and I'm just still flabbergasted by it.
All right.
Meanwhile, guys, what was the
that-
over/under on number of French fries I would consume today?
Oh, I don't think you had too many. You eat
I only had
less
one.
than a
great
half.
restraint.
I
Yeah,
had
that's
one of these
fine.
nubby ones.
I can't
That's
believe you
fine.
didn't
You
down
did
that last
fine.
piece of fish.
And
there.
the fish, it was just
That was
fish. You
great,
actually
yeah.
got
But
rid
I
of all
think
the breading.
on DraftKings, the over/under was 2.5 on fries. So if you bet Mayo
So
on the
that's a low
under
total. Yeah, I'd
on the
take over.
fries, maintaining keto goodness. Didn't even finish the full sweet drink.
You did fine.
Had my oysters.
that's it.
That's
Yeah.
your
a little
loss,
bit of fish.
Mike Mayo. Let's
Am
hope
I
you lose some weight.
insufferable
Yeah.
now on the keto? It's
Yeah,
just-
yeah. I mean, nobody
okay.
wants to hear about this. It's true.
The weigh-ins will come every Sunday, so you'll get the updates on Mondays along with contest results, because it's not like I'm going to get on the scale every day.
No. Well,
You
once
should-
a week.
you should
Once
do
a
it once a
week.
week.
weigh-in
When you feel good about it.
after my Sunday walks
Yeah.
with my daughter. After I get
And
a little
maybe a
schwitz
trip to the
going.
steam room.
Maybe
That
a
always
little-
helps. Yeah.
Maybe yes, that too. It'll be once a week, and we'll see the pounds just melting away.
It's
or
good.
not.
I'm all in favor.
All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow at that Delaware Chicken
Delaware
Farm and
Chicken Farm and
Seafood Market. And of course, Fridays at Gulfstream. We're going to be out there again this Friday with the whole crew back in town after being
Yes,
up
we
in
missed
Baltimore
Joe.
for the Preakness. Joe B will be back on set with us with some delights at Gulfstream. That's Friday. But now, from Even Keel Fish Shack in Lauderdale by the Sea, it's Mike Mayo for Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz saying, enjoy every fish, every chip, and every sandwich.